I want to get to this because I actually don't know the answer to how I feel about it, but it was more like the VMAs are tomorrow night on MTV.
I had no idea they were tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't either.
Neither did I. Okay, so it brought, when I was doing the show and I was doing research for like, what do we want to cover? I was like, how do I not? The only thing I seen was like in a Shawn Mendes ad on his own Instagram that he was performing. I'm like, so it brought me to reminded me of the Adam Levine every year when the nominations comes out. Adam Levine from Maroon 5 basically rails on the VMAs and says like, they're so useless, they're so irrelevant. So do we think that they're relevant anymore?
I think they are much less relevant than they were 10 years ago because MTV doesn't really play music videos.
Yes.
You know, they have all these reality shows, but also, you know, you have to bring up the fact that none of us are their target demo.
That's true.
We're not.
We're all too old.
But millennials aren't even millennials aren't really empty. Like I feel like VH1, for instance, is our well, you're a little bit young, but our demo is VH1. It's like it's the Facebook demo that watches VH1. So it's interesting because they're trying to target like the YouTube millennial crowd and even younger than that, but they're not watching. Like you think Jersey Shore was young kids watching it? It was all the fans that came back to watch them from the last time, which is 10 years ago. I just think, to me, it's troubling that it used to be this like iconic pop. And here's the thing. From a business perspective, I understand why the VMAs are still on. It makes the network a fortune, okay? But from a pop, I think I'm talking on a level of more like on a pop culture. I feel like it's sad to see how it used to be such a pop culture iconic sort of show every year. And I can't remember the last time it created like a moment that was like
a buzzworthy moment.
A buzzworthy moment.
I mean, part of the problem too is there are just so many award shows: the People's Choice, the Teen's Choice, the VMAs. It's like it's hard to keep them straight.
Yes.
But you know, on the flip side, we'll have to watch the ratings.
I want to watch the ratings. And see.
But on the flip side, these shows do make a fortune. They're going to be in New York City this year, and they were previously held here. And the New York mayor put out a statement a couple of months ago when they announced that this show generates $50 million in economic activity. That's a lot of cheddar.
Yeah, a lot.
So. I know I'm too old to talk like that, but anyway, that's a lot of money. So these shows are not going away.
They're not, and I just found it to be. I'm so glad that you two just basically in the first because when I found out I had to take a friend of mine who is a producer at ET to the airport this morning because he's covering it, and I was like, the VMAs are tomorrow night. Now, granted, I'm not running a daily news site at the moment, but it's like I didn't see anything. I'm like, no one's talking about it. It's not even like what to expect. I haven't seen one article come through my inbox that's like, what's to expect at the VMAs? I'll tell you what to expect. Nothing. That's it.
And you're like a news junkie, so if you don't see it, then like.
So I'm glad that I just want to make sure I wasn't so like behind my game this week on news. But you were like there tomorrow, so thank you. Sorry.
Listen, we could get blasted on Twitter later by all the young kids who are like,
they're gonna be like, what do they know?
They're like, we're so excited about
We're
the
so
VMAs.
excited. Which, by the way, I love Shawn Mendes and some of the performers, but I still just think as a whole, it's like. The VMAs, it's just like used to be like this, like everyone in the industry was preparing for the VMAs. Now it's like some of these shows that covered have to like beg, like, can I go to cover the VMAs? Like, we're not really going to beg for you to go there.
Well, but I've read that Cardi B is supposed to make her big return after giving birth, so she's going to be on the show.
That's the buzz. I think that she could be the surprise opening, possibly, because I don't think they never tell you who's opening the show. Okay, well, God bless her.
I'll watch for that.
They're also honoring J-Lo.
Yeah, J-Lo's the vanguard, which again, because I saw then criticism about her because they're basically trying to say like, yes, she's been this iconic sort of pop singer, but like when you think about her video archive, so again, it plays into this idea like you knew that like Madonna was known for like extravagant big video, Michael Jackson was known like, but you're like some of these other artists now it's just like Pink got criticism, which I love Pink, but they were basically saying like her music's good, but her videos were nothing like crazy and special. But every year they were gonna find something to complain about. But all right, well we'll pray for the VMAs. So I want to move on to our segment because Anita actually